YouTubers. Okay, so this is going to be for fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What is my ex up to? So if you are a fire sign, this could be what you're up to. If you are cross-watching for an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, this could be what they're up to. Okay? Actually, this is what they're up to. So I'm going to be using the Romance Angel cards, okay? And then I'm going to do a cards fancy spread. So if you want to scroll on through this shuffling, you may, because it's not going to be like a minute, okay? So this is the way it has to be done. Aries, we're going to start with you. Aries, what are you up to? Aries. Aries, what are you up to? There we go. Okay, Leo. Leo, what are you up to? Leo. Okay, all right. Leo, Sagittarius, what are you up to? Sagittarius, what are you up to? Sagittarius. Overall energy, stay optimistic about your love life. Okay, so fire signs, staying optimistic, I see. Okay, let's go into the card fancy now. Again, scroll through if you'd like, because this is going to take me a minute. Aries, start with Aries. Okay, that's for Aries. Now let's go into Leo. Okay, Leo. One more time. Yep, that was it. Okay, that's Leo. And now Sagittarius. One more time. Actually, one more time because I feel like there's one more card in there. There it is. Okay. Okay. Let's go into Aries. Aries. Oh, there you are. You could be directly involved with a Gemini. And there's the air card, Gemini blue card. Okay, you have religious factors. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. You need to trust and have faith. There could be a marriage involved that you may need to free yourself from. I'm sorry. And the reason for this delay could be due to children. Okay? Bottom of the deck, you got stay optimistic about your love life. Make the effort. There is definitely a karmic relationship you're dealing with. There's definitely money involved. There is a lot of unrequited love, meaning that there's not enough love, loving exchange here. There's definitely healing family issues and forgiving and learning that needs to take place. Okay, this is all straight from the bottom of the deck. So this is all going into alignment from what I see here. Okay. So you could definitely feeling. You know what that means? I don't. Dealing directly with a Gemini or an air element, Libra or Aquarius. There could also be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn involved. There could be a child involved that is of an earth element. Okay? There's definitely a decision that needs to be made, and there's issues around financial stability, okay? So what it's showing here is there's evaluation before action taking place. There's a lot of thought in regards to a separation that you're feeling fenced in and sick and tired of. There is victory over this. Situation that is either involving an air element or it's involving an earth element. You want to break down an established pattern that is created here. And this could be in direct relation to this air element. And there needs to be a decision because it's showing here that you want to separate yourself from this situation that you feel fenced in. But the main concern here is surrounding a child that you may have with this air or earth element. There's a wanting to work this out, but you want a new beginning. But in order to have a new beginning, you have to separate yourself. It's showing here that if there is children involved, there will be victory over this. And there definitely is a need for financial stability. Aries, I'm feeling like it's almost as if you're watching a clock, like you're just waiting, but you're feeling fenced in. Like you don't know what to do, you don't know what to decide because there's children involved. But it's showing here that you could be receiving a piece of helpful advice that will enlighten you to this situation in order for you to move forward. It is showing that you are evaluating before taking this action towards this situation because you could be working on finances. But there is also worry and anxiety surrounding the unfolding of this once you do decide to take action. But it's showing that you will be victorious, that you will be able to work this out. It's showing here that you definitely will be able to work this out, specifically if it is pertaining to an earth element. But there's an established pattern that if you are dealing with an air element that has been created, and there is a need to work this out, it's almost as if there's too much conflict. Like there's definitely some healing and some forgiving and learning from the past that needs to take place, because there's an established pattern here with this person. And it's almost as if, you know, fearful of taking action. Like you want victory, but it's almost as if like if you approach this air element, like all hell will break loose. Put it that way. It's what it looks like. But if you face the fear and not go at it from a like push against negativity, but almost in a sense approach it with understanding and compassion, that you'll be able to work it out, and it'll be more of an emotional understanding rather than approaching it with fear. It's almost like if you approach it with worry and anxiety, you're approaching it from a different angle, and it will intensify lower level negativity. But if you approach it with more emotional understanding, that you will be able to then move forward with removing yourself from the situation, and everything will work out. Because it's showing here that you just want out of this situation. You could also be dealing with this air element and want to move forward with this earth element, but you can't because of this situation. But it's showing here that it's just an unhealthy situation that you need to separate yourself from. It's just the way that you're going about it. So you could be saving money in order to gain financial stability, and it's just taking some time in order to save up that money in order to move forward. But it's showing here that if you approach this situation with love and care, it will be victorious for you. Yep, that's it. Okay, that's Aries. Now let's go into Leo. Leo. Okay, Leo, it's time for you to disconnect yourself. Chemistry. It is safe for you to love. Passion and soulmate. So, Leo, you could have met, not you could have, you did. You met your soulmate. And this could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But there was some loss and deception surrounding this situation. And there was a disconnect. There were some unfortunate events that happened here in the past that has some negativity attached to it, which is surrounding loss and deception, which caused a lot of fears to block this from progressing forward when you met this person. It definitely shows that you both have disconnected yourselves, but you're on a spiritual journey. So this lack of progression in moving forward with either this Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is due to healing that needs to take place. And there is going to be happy surprises and a second chance to redo this. It's showing here that there is something, there's a need for financial independence pertaining to the home environment in order to have this new beginning and this new phase of life. And this is something that directly affected this union in coming together at the time you met. And this is definitely part of the spiritual journey it's showing. It's also showing that there were other people who affected the action and change in the social standing of this relationship. And this was definitely due to a third party interference that caused this loss and deception. But through this separation between you two, you both basically disconnected from yourselves. But the chemistry has never been broken. The lesson here is to learn that it is safe for you to love and that you are going to bring the passion back in this relationship with your soulmate, okay? This separation shows that it caused a lot of pain, loneliness, and depression because there were some unfortunate events that happened. But there are going to be steady improvements, and your efforts are going to be rewarded towards gaining this financial stability and financial independence here. It also shows that there could be some legal documents pertaining to the home in relation to this water element. And there is going to be, there's a lot of worry and anxiety around the judgment on this, but it's showing that there is going to be happy surprises. There might be some lack of progression with these legal documents. They're waiting on a judgment. But there are going to be happy surprises and a second chance to redo this relationship. There is definitely going to be a transformation in this relationship. There's going to be action and change in the social standing of this relationship. Also shows that you also could be in telepathic communication. There is going to be a new beginning and a new phase of life here. It's also showing that there could be also a twist of fate involved. There is definitely, through this loss and deception and this cutting out, there has been a major transformation. A death and rebirth, so to speak. There was a lot of worry and anxiety, but now it's time for healing. When you met this person, you started out on the spiritual journey, but it's showing here that other people affected the growth of this relationship. But it's almost showing as if it was a necessity in order to transform. So this separation that caused a lot of pain and these unfortunate events from the past are now coming up in order to heal. And there is going to be a second chance to redo this because this person is your soulmate. If you are dealing with a water element, this person is showing that, you know, there is emotional excitement there with you and that they want to bring this into union. They are working on their finances and they are having steady improvements through their efforts here because they want to make up for the past and these unfortunate events. But there's definitely something going on with legal documents pertaining to the home. And they're definitely waiting on some sort of insurance papers. This could be inheritance, some sort of papers where they're waiting for a judgment is what it's showing. And through this, there's a lot of worry and anxiety of what is the outcome. But it's showing here that there are going to be happy surprises and there's going to be a new beginning and a new phase of life here. Yeah, there's definitely going to be action and change in the social standing of this relationship. There was before, prior, due to the fact that it shows that this person could have possibly cut you out or you cut this water element out, and it caused a lot of loneliness and depression here. But it's coming back around. There were just some major transformations that needed to take place. And if there was any third-party interferences and loss and deception surrounding third parties, that has come to the light. And now there's this, it's showing maybe there could be just some lack of progression. This lack of progression could also be that they need to travel to come see you. So Leo, you're showing me that you know that this person, this water element and or air element is your soulmate. And this water element that you're dealing with is showing me, Leo, that you are waiting for that. And that there were third-party interferences that kind of broke this soulmate connection apart. But Leo, you're showing me that you're ready for this transformation to take place. Although it's showing here that there's been a lack of progression, and it's due to the fact that this water element could be waiting on a judgment with legal documents pertaining to the home. Yet, and that is why this person cut you out of their life, Leo. But you are going to be getting some happy surprises in a new phase of life here with this person. There's just a lot of transformation that's taking place here, and lo and behold, that's what happens when you meet your soulmate. Okay, so that was Leo. Sagittarius. I just like saying that. Sagittarius, what's going on? Okay, you got deception, heart-to-heart conversation, attraction, true love, and give your relationship a chance. Okay, so you could be specifically dealing with a water element here, a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And it's showing here that there's been lack of communication, and there has been some untold truths here, which kind of goes along there with the deception, and there's worry and anxiety. It's showing here that there needs to be communication, heart-to-heart conversation. It's all like in alignment here. So there is definitely deception. There's lack of communication and deception. Can you see that? I know that you can't, okay? Because I don't know why my arm does that. I have faith and hope that one day I'm going to do this, and it's not going to, my arm's not going to go that way, okay? Faith. Deception, heart-to-heart conversation. So it's showing here that there's been, like there's a one for a new beginning and a new phase, but there's lack of communication, okay? There is also truth and honesty that needs to be spoken about here, but there's been a complete ending surrounding this developing relationship. And the wishes and desires are to bring this back together into union, but the feelings are showing not to be mutual. Because there was so much lack of communication, it kind of just fell apart. So there's worry and anxiety around approaching this heart-to-heart conversation. But what you think about, you bring about, right? So attraction, the law of attraction. So there's fears and there's worries and there's anxieties about having this heart-to-heart conversation. But it's showing here that Sagittarius believes that this Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio is their true love, and they want to give this relationship a chance. Okay? But there was a major ending in the developing of this relationship. And it's showing here that the wishes and desires were with this water element that wanted this relationship. But it's showing here that there was lack of communication, and there was a lack of truth and honesty here. It's also indicating that there could be finances involved that were affecting this relationship. And we weren't being, like, there was a need to be honest about this, and there wasn't. And this person, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, took it personally. So they kind of just ended it. Although they were wanting to lay foundations for future success, they were trying to verbally communicate this, but it's indicating here that every time they tried, it was met with a storm. Like, it was met with worry and conflict. And they felt that they couldn't manifest this. And there wasn't enough honesty. Like, we weren't being truthful and honest with the way that we truly felt, put it that way. Because the feelings were mutual. That's what it's showing here. Like, the feelings were mutual. The wishes and desires were to develop this relationship, lay foundations for future success. There was a need for communication in order to resolve the problems, but because of the lack of communication and there wasn't truth and honesty, it shows here that, sorry, this communication was needed here, but it just ended because this didn't happen. Because prior, we have the lack of communication, and this is a need to speak our truth and be honest. But then this didn't happen, and it just ended. But the intention was to lay foundations for future success and continue to develop this relationship. But there was worries and anxieties around these wishes that this Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio had, and this is what they wanted. But it shows that there was just not enough communication. There was like no communication. So it's showing here that there was more focus on our finances and our money than there was on the love in this relationship, and that's why it ended. But the fears are showing that by approaching this, we have a lot of worry and anxiety about approaching this person in order to bring it back to here. But in order to do that, there needs to be a heart-to-heart conversation because there was a lot of false mask wearing in this relationship. There wasn't enough talking, okay? So this is what needs to happen. And by doing that, you will attract what it is that you desire in order to bring this love back and actually give this relationship a fair chance. Because it shows here that it wasn't even really given a fair chance. Like, it was like a lot of trying, and it could have been from this water element, but it was just a lot of lack of communication and a lot of jealousy and possessive energies here. And it was like, it doesn't show that it was intended in that manner, and that's where the deception lies, because there wasn't truth and honesty. It was more or less a feeling of being deceived, yet there wasn't anything that was deceptive. It was just lack of communication. So we need to have a heart-to-heart conversation. Freaking problem solved. You try. I try. You know? Communicator. I'm a communicator. Like, just freaking talk to me. I'm not gonna freaking kill you. I'm not gonna bite your head off. You know? Only unless you freaking... Don't approach me with a sword if you believe that I'm not gonna swing one right back at you. You know what I mean? Like, approach me with, like, honesty, be truthful. Like, that's seriously all I ever asked for. So do it. So if you're cross-watching for the Sagittarius, there needs to be communication, and somebody's got to start it. What are you afraid of? Watch my video earlier. Fear nothing, okay? Just do it. Have faith. Love you guys.